Okay, let's get this started. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a nice morning right now. We have about a minute till market open, so let's see what happens. So pretty much the overnight session was a nice little dump, so we might see the buyers come back in this morning and just try to pump it up. We're about to find out in exactly 1 second. There you go. Nice little pump up right there. We're going to test the 200 EMA real quick. We're not going to get in the first 15 minutes right now because there's going to be a bit too much volume going on. But if we see a good opportunity that we like, we will get in. So let's just see what happens. Yep, tested the 200 EMA, the yellow line right there. Bounce back a little bit, keep going. Now to the VWAP, the VWAP. And everything on the side here is the volume to show you where the price was traded at the most. So you'll see bottom here, the high node right here is where it's been traded the most. You can see these candles over here, overnight session, had a lot of just bouncing back and forth up over here. So a lot of volume is conducted. So let's see if we can break through the VWAP and then we'll see if there's an actual trend to the upside this morning. Because my rule is that if it's below the 200 EMA, then it means the trend is still on the downside. That is the easiest way to tell what the trend is. Then we have the NQ kind of struggling. ES pushing up, but then the NQ over here is struggling, so that is concerning. And the ES is following, it's coming down. Okay. A bit of morning confusion going on. That's when we know we just have to sit and wait. We might be able to catch a nice move to the downside, but as I highly suggest, if you're trading right now, just wait for the first 15 minutes, let the volume die out a little bit, and let everything settle, let the institutions do their big moves, and then we'll catch our moves. Because remember, we're only here to catch some small moves and get out. Catch them every day, be consistent, and we're done. Okay, let me see if I can fix the voice for you guys. It seems like there's a bit of an echo. I don't know why that's happening. Let's see. Hey Mustafa, can you hear the voice properly now, or is there still an echo? Yeah, that's really strange that the audio is not working properly. I'm gonna see if I can fix that still, but I might have to do it after the stream today. See what's up with this, because I think yesterday it worked fine. I didn't change any of the settings, so we'll see. What about now? Can you hear the audio clearly now? Is there still an echo or anything like that? We could see a nice setup to the downside right now if this bar can close below the opening candle. So we're looking for the price to go below 32.1975. Yeah, until it can break out of the opening range, I don't see any opportunities because right now it's just chopping back and forth between the price, and there's no point in getting in something that's just choppy. Still not seeing much happening, still not breaking out of the opening range, and that's just when we don't trade. We might just be at our desk longer today, but that's okay. It looks like they want to make a move to the downside, but they're just struggling. The sellers just need to step in real quick and then make a nice move, and then we can see a nice flush to the downside. Yep, just crossed the break. Okay. Let's see if they can hold below now. We might get in at the close of this candle if it can hold below. Seems like a nice move to the downside. We can easily hit the previous low, 32.15, and it's pushing. Sellers are stepping in. Perfect. So yeah, we're just gonna be waiting 4 minutes till this candle closes, and then we might get in at the bottom of this candle, because that way we can confirm a nice push to the downside. Unless this candle flushes completely, making like a 10 or 15 point move, then that's something we want to avoid, because whenever the ES or NQ or anything drops significantly so fast, it tends to buffer out and then try to come back up and make a nice flow reversal. So that's something to always note. We might get a nice bounce move on the NQ, but let's see. Already hit it and bounced, okay. Missed out on that opportunity right there. That's okay. Let's see if we can catch something on the ES. Our Algo is giving a sell signal right now for the ES, but it's still forming, so we gotta wait till the candle close. We are making a big flush to the downside right now. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm gonna see if I can catch a nice small move on the NQ when it tries to pull back, if it can. For the ES, I kind of just wanted to pull back a little bit. That way we can just close out the buyers and then let the seller step back in.
Stop filled.
We are in on NQ. Let's just see if it goes up. It's going.
Order filled.
And our orders.
Order filled.
We're done. NQ 200 right there. What was that about? It was a 9-second trade, guys. 9 seconds and 200. Now we're just waiting for the buyers to step in a little bit, and then after that we're gonna try to get into the ES to the short side a little bit, because this might be a massive move if we can get all the sellers to step in. But again, this is earnings week right now, so always go with light positions, because this move was a big move. I'm gonna place a sell stop order at 32.1250. I will be very cautious with this move, just because most of the times when this type of move happens, it can reverse back up completely in like a V form, just make a V pullback completely. So we're just gonna have to play this quick. Because this is a big move. Let's measure it out. How big was the candle? Yeah, the previous candle was like 11 points, so it has to pull back a little bit before we can break out to the downside. And if we can't break through this in the next, this candle or the next candle, we're going to cancel our position, because that just means it's going to be going sideways for a little bit, and that signal is, it's a false signal at that point. And never get too oriented with the dome, because no matter how many times you see, oh, there's like 344 contracts like wanting to sell here, and there's only like 118. That just kind of shows you a little bit of what's happening, but you can't be completely dependent on it, because people are willing to step in at market prices, so you won't see them like on the chart itself, on the histogram right here, because they're just waiting for the price to hit, and then they're gonna sell market or buy market, so you won't be able to see those big orders come in like that. That's why the dome is just easy for entries, because you can just, hey, click right here, have your brackets in place, and you're in. I usually just trade the charts, but I just like seeing the price move on this one as well, just to see. And just in case there is like a big buyer saying like, oh, there's 500 contracts, like say up here, that's just willing to sell at that price. That says, okay, that's gonna be a nice little resistance point, and we might have a nice little reversal back then. But other than that, like if it's just a couple hundred, I won't care. But if it's like 500, 700, or 1,000, that's when I'm like, okay, I have to be a bit cautious, because there might be a nice reversal there, because that's big money coming in. So we couldn't break through this in the first 5 minutes. Okay. And then this candle's going straight to the upside again. We might hit resistance at the camo, and then the WeWap and 200 EMA again, because they're right next to each other, which is always a good sign that that's a good resistance point. So we shall see what happens. But if it keeps continuing to push up, I'm canceling this order, and this theory is done for, well, at least this is him. And if any of you guys have any questions, just type them in the chat. I'm happy to chat right now. The market's kind of slow, so I can give you some of my attention right now. And right now it just seems like, because it's earnings week, especially for the big tech stocks that move the market, everything is just kind of being stagnant. Not too much money coming in, not too much money going out. People are just kind of confused on where they want to go. And this is usually the week where people buy a good amount of options instead, because they want to catch any type of big swings that happen overnight. Say Apple has like nice earnings and they go past their forecast, they might see a nice big pump up, and you make a great return. But you gotta understand, like, if you're not right, you're gonna lose all of your money in that overnight play. That's why I used to do them before, but now I don't do them, because like the risk is just does not fit my profile. I'm a bit conservative with this, and I like getting consistent results. not just going for those big home runs and then saying, oh, I lose like 90 trades and then just win one. Like, I don't want that. I want to win 90 trades and then miss 10. Because with trading, consistency is key. Because if you think about it, right, if you just want to make 6 figures with trading, that's all you need is $400 a day. Like, if you do the math for it, there's what, about 252 trading days total, depending on leap year and everything. Let's not get too technical. Let's just say 250 times 400. There you go, 100K. Some days you'll make 200, some days you'll make 400, but as you grow your account more, you can take more contracts. This week, I just don't want to trade high contracts just because, again, you can see right now, the market's just not moving. And if there's no movement, there's no trend to it, I'm not going to get in. I'll play with small positions because come next week or from 2 weeks, I can go heavy and then I'll bring in bigger returns. You have to understand what the market dynamic is at the moment, and that's something that a lot of people miss, thinking, oh, they can trade at any market, which, yeah, some people can, but then most people can't because their strategies aren't built for it. That's why you have to pay attention to market conditions and what's going on in the world. And another time that you don't really want to trade would be like whenever the Fed is speaking, or you have the Fed minutes, because that's a time that creates a nice volatility. So I would wait till after the news releases, give it a couple minutes, see the trend, then enter. Because with me, all I do is I follow the trend, I see what's happening, catch a quick move, and I'm done. And right now we couldn't break through this after the first 2 candles after that, so according to my rules, we take a stop order out, and we're out of that trade. Now we just wait. We opened back here. We went all the way up to 32.29, so about 32.30. So if we can break that, we can see a nice push to the upside, or we can just see a nice back and forth day today. Because usually the first 15 minutes will tell you the direction of the market, but today there doesn't seem to be direction because first 5 minutes it opened up going green, second 5 minutes at 9:35 it started selling off, and then 9:40 it was indecisive. You can tell, like, it's a kind of a doji candle. Sellers tried to come down, but buyers stepped in a little bit, but sellers were still strong. And then it finally broke through the first 15-minute range over here and made a nice flush down, which we could have played, but sometimes what happens is I'll break it just a little bit and then pull right back up. So from personal experiences, I just don't trade that unless I'm like super confident like exactly what's happening. Today was not that type of day, and that's why I just waited. I'm just gonna see what happens because NQ is moving up, which is nice. ES is following the same trend. You guys can see the similarities between the candles as well. They're forming the same way. Sometimes NQ will be ahead of the game, and then sometimes ES will be ahead of the game. So it's just like you just have to pay attention to both to see which one's ahead, and then sometimes they'll just be in sync together. Because the whole reason of like paying attention to both of them is that one can tell if the other one's gonna repeat, and if one's lagging, you can catch that move. Because like if NQ pumped up a lot, ES will most likely do the same thing if it hasn't already. So you can catch that move to the upside. And if we can't make a move by 11:30 today, then I'm probably just gonna step aside, not worry about this, and worry about some other stuff. But this just looks choppy to me. The overnight sessions have been good lately, though. You can see a nice flush downs right here. Starting here, boom. Nice clean flush. But yesterday and today, been kind of confusing. We're gonna test the WeWap and the 200 EMA, so we're gonna see a nice bounce play right here. People can play that if they want. For me today, my gut says don't touch it for the moment. See if it can reverse off of it and then create a nice, get some volume to the downside. Then I'll probably enter. But for right now, I think I'm just gonna stand still and just relax, because I'm not trying to force a trade, because I can't force the market. I'm just here to take whatever it gives me. $32.27.75 is, according to the market profile, a good area for a nice reversal, and we can see the EMA 200 is around the same area, which confluence, always good. So let's see. We are coming back down. Okay. And if there's any stock or anything you guys want me to look at right now, I'm more than happy to show you my charts. I can show you how the algo is working for and see if there's any signals for you guys. Because right now, I think ES is going to take a little bit before I can get in a nice move again. Okay, as you can see, the price action is struggling. The candles are getting weaker. Let's see if we can get any buying pressure or if the sellers can finally take over and just flush this to the downside. Now we're just seeing a nice little bounce off of the 200 EMA. Like I said, it's gonna happen. You're gonna make a nice quick 200 there if you wanted to. Still hasn't broken the opening range of 3230. So we could still see a nice flush to the downside, but let's see. Like I said before, guys, nice V pattern right here. Came all the way down, flushed, and then I told you, could easily just go right back up, and that's exactly what it did. But a key point of confirmation would be if it breaks the 3230. So let's see what happens. We're hitting a lot of volume right around here, so price might just bounce around a little bit before it decides to make a move. But once it does, if it decides to break through this completely, you see that there's low volume all of these prices overnight as well, and that it could make a nice clean flush to the upside, but we'll see. We're making a double top right here. Let's see if we can break through. Remember how I said 3230, guys? You can see sellers are piling up at that level because that's the opening high, the opening range high right there. And that's what they want. They don't want the buyers to break that, or else they know like a lot more buyers will step in trying to push this to the upside. So if the sellers want to stay in control, they're gonna try to make sure that the buyers don't break through 3230. So yeah, Mustafa, I would say like you could hold off on buying just because right now we haven't seen a break of the opening range high, and in normal conditions, if the price can break the opening range high, that's when we see a nice trend to the upside. And if it breaks through the opening range low and just like holds it, that means we can see a nice trend to the downside. So 3230 right now is a key level, and I don't just mean like it has to be at that price. It'll be the price right around that price. Give it a couple points, 2-3 points each direction to see what happens. Because there's no such thing as like a specific number that people will go to. Sometimes they'll go right above it and then come right back down. It's like, as we can see before, right? We broke through the opening range low and we made a nice flush, but then guess what happened? It pulled right back up. So we need a bit of a confirmation before we can confirm, hey, can we keep going? And most of the time when this type of thing happens, it's like a seller's trap or a buyer's trap, right? Right now, we can't tell because we just have to wait and see. But sellers to control, buyers are like, okay, whatever, and then they stepped in because when they're trying to make it flush even more, they tried to stop it, and they tried to push it right back up, trapping them, taking their gains away. and then making the sellers try to become buyers because they're trying to make up their losses. But it seems like the sellers are kind of in control still. He's like, a double top happened right there. We might have a triple top. If we have a triple top that we can't break the triple top, oh, that means like we're coming right back down again. Here's the double top, we have the doji, indecisiveness in market. And let's see if this candle can become a seller's candle, nice red candle to the downside, and then maybe we can catch a nice move in the next candle or two. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for the algo signal because that's just the way I trade now. You just gotta follow the system, right? And this could be the 10 o'clock reversal, honestly. But it's just the fact that the price that we op right now, that's kind of concerning me because it's where price kind of buffers around there. I think most likely on the next candle, if the sellers come in, we might see a nice signal to the downside. But then we do have the camel here, another resistance point. But we might be able to break through that. Let's see what's happening right now. And the buyer stepped in. Surprise. Dow drops 150 points as coronavirus relief debate continues. Okay. Yeah, man. I just want all this COVID-19 stuff to be over. I just want the vaccine to come out. Things to start going back to normal. The market to go back to normal. Because this has been quite a roller coaster to adapt to. Now it's just the bear trap right there. They let the buyers think that they were in control, and then they step right in. If you guys have been keeping up with the news, I'm pretty sure you guys know that eviction's probably going to be a big deal now because obviously a lot of people lost their jobs during COVID, and it's like the worst thing that could happen right now. Because hey, people are getting sick, people are dying, and then people are losing their jobs too. It's a horrible situation. I don't wish it on anyone, but it is the current situation for a lot of people. And it is going to affect the economy. They keep sending out these stimulus checks, and I believe there's a second one coming up. But that's just allowing them to feed themselves and take care of their family. But they're not able to afford rent, and a lot of people are going to be evicted soon because they can only push it off for so long. And I feel like that's going to cause a major crisis across the globe right now. Because they're saying right now, facing eviction, 48% eviction in Texas is probably possible for renters, and then 51% in Florida. That's crazy. Like half of the renters in Florida will be evicted. Where are they going to go? I'm hoping that they all have good family that they can probably move back with or anything like that. But this is really gonna cause a big shift on how people see the world, see how our economy works. And I feel like anybody that has to go through that would most likely have the realization that they have to save money and have a savings fund rather than just going out and spending it on a lot of stuff. So. Hopefully this helps them somewhat, but man, what a time. Guys, this just seems like a choppy market, completely just jumping up and down, up and down, up and down. No real swing to the upside, no real swing to the downside. We'll see if we can make another trade. If not, we're still in profit. So I'm happy. These are the days where the market likes to test you and see, are you just gonna force the trade and lose all your money, or are you just gonna wait there patiently? And the biggest thing is patience always pays. You will always find a move if you let it come to you. So until then, maybe just open up YouTube, watch a video, or just start talking to me in the chat. I'll respond. Just do something. Maybe, who knows? Go on Instagram, scroll for a little bit, come back. Yeah, guys, the market just in consolidation right now. You guys can clearly tell. I'll just make a chart bigger real quick. It hasn't broken through the zone after it made that big push to the downside. It's just bouncing back towards 32.30 and then towards 32.15. So just a nice little zone. Let me see if I can make it clearer for you guys. Let's see, drawing tools. Yeah, so this is the range where most of the volume has been traded, and you can see it's just going up, down, up, down. No nice swing, no nothing. Most of the candles have wicks on both sides. That means buyers and sellers are kind of contemplating a direction. There's no clear picture. And this is just a day that you have to adapt to and be like, hey, this is just not the day to trade. You might catch a move later on. Just have to sit at your desk and wait. We are trying to push up to the upside, but I don't know. It's taking a while. Just gotta be patient. And it's kind of crazy that we're only like 200 points away from our all-time highs. Like even after a whole pandemic, like this was the quickest pullback ever. Like so we might see. Let's see what happens in the next couple months with news. Obviously, election year, so it's going to be heavily manipulated because people want the market to be up. They want to make sure people feel good and think that the economy is doing well. My personal opinion, again, this is just my personal opinion. I feel like once the stimulus money runs out and people aren't getting their jobs back, there's most likely going to be layoffs in September because like a lot of these big companies, when they got the bailout money, they had provisions saying they can't lay anybody off for a certain amount of months. But I think that ends in September. And if there is the layoffs, it's going to happen in September. It's going to be hell. Because I feel like we might see a nice big fall again, like to the downside. But we'll see. Everyone thought that right when coronavirus hit, dropped, but then pumped money into it. That's why I tell people just catch your little move and walk away. Don't try to predict the market because you don't have control over it. The Fed controls it. We can see clearly. The minute they started putting all their money in, March 24th and everything, that's when we saw the big shift going right to the upside again. But it'll be interesting to see if we could break our all-time highs in the next month or two, because that would be something. That would be the fastest pullback ever, I think, in history. For that size at least. And we're about to approach lunch hour in an hour, so volume's gonna die off. But who knows? The big dogs might just be waiting for it and just trying to pump the money in afterwards. The amount of consolidation this morning. That is one lesson I learned. Don't trade during consolidation. Notice it immediately. Just put your hands up. And just sit. Because the amount of money I lost during consolidation is quite ridiculous, and I hate it. Okay, we're seeing a nice move to the downside. Let's see if we can hold it. Might be a nice opportunity. At the close of this candle. Let's see. And if you guys want to talk about a trade that you guys took, please put in the chat. Like we can review it if you want to, or you guys can say how much profit you guys got. I'm always happy to hear somebody else get profit. 4 minutes until this candle closes. Let's see if it's actually a good candle. breakout of the previous 10 candles. Okay. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Take a trade on the ES, so let's see how this goes. Just gotta wait till candle close. So if we can get into this move right around 32.20.50 or 32.20. Let's see, what was it? The low is 32.20.50. So we'll try to get in at 32.20.25, and then from there we can see a nice maybe 5-point move to the downside till about 15 or 15.50. I might just go for 15.50. But if it's going to be a big move, then it has the potential to go all the way down to 32.04.50. But we'll see. Let's see what the 37 seconds do. Bring it up. I'm gonna place my stop order right there at 32.20.25 to sell stop. I'm trying to short right now. But again, since it is in consolidation, if it doesn't break through immediately, I might just cancel this order and just walk away, because I hate consolidation so much. Yeah, I'm canceling this. Position, guys.
Clearly making a move to the upside
again,
and
and
it's
not worth it.
That's why we always wait.
For it to break the candles low,
and then we always place our
and then we
order.
always place our order a tick below, just because you gotta be safe.
No reason to rush it.
No reason to rush it. Because if we just put our order in, please we saw the alert or signal,
we would have been caught
we
here.
would have been caught here, and I would have pushed right there. Would have lost all that.
And again, we can see just playing around
with this price.
Oh, it's a slow day.
Yeah, guys, I think I might just stop the stream here today.
It's just a consolidating day.
It's just like yesterday. It's nice and slow.
I'm not gonna force any trades.
The more I sit here, I'll probably get
impatient a little bit,
and then try to force something. But
yeah.
I
think I'm just gonna hop
think I'm just gonna hop off right now.
Have a nice day, everyone.
Have a nice day, everyone.